All right, Les Miserables, or Les Mis, Les Miserables. How the hell do you pronounce this? Well, I don't know. It's a really good movie, so maybe I should learn how to pronounce it. Yes, it is yes, the well-known book, musical, whatever it is now a movie starring two great Australian actors. Yes, yes, Australia. Because that was, I think, the best choice from Tom Hooper. To make is that to have two great Australians in this. Yes, yes, everyone knows that I love my Australian actors, especially Hugh Jackman, for he is the sexiest man of all time. Or was I? Alright, Les Mis. Um, I don't really know what to say. I've never read it, I've never seen it before, but this is something else. It's very musically. And it almost feels like a Broadway musical. But if my only complaint is that it feels a little too. Actually, I got two complaints. My biggest complaint is that it feels a little too Broadway musical esque, in the sense that some scenes just seem like, oh, that's something out of a theater production, like they do this, which was probably the intended feel of it because they certainly captured it, but at the same time, it is supposed to be a movie. I don't know. See it for yourself. My other complaint is that the first half hour or so is, I think, a little too fast paced. I mean, there is a lot to get over. You got to introduce Hugh Jackman, got to introduce Russell Crowe, got to introduce Anne Hathaway. And Anne Hathaway's only in it for about 15 minutes, but she gets what she needs to do. She does what she needs to do. Okay, but maybe it's just me. The pacing afterwards is done well. But then again, most Broadway musicals, the pacing is, I don't want to say fast, but sort of consistently fast. With this, the pacing was a bit off and on, so anyways, the story. Hugh Jackman has been in prison for 20 years because he stole a loaf of bread. Yeah, that's a bit of a harsh crime. No, what it was, he was in prison for 2 years, but then he kept escaping. So he spent 20 years. The story takes place over a period of about 15, 16 years or so. And, a lot of people. It's a very. One thing I will say about this, which I think I liked, it had a very religious feel to it. There's a lot of emphasis to religion, which I think was my mom was saying, she read the book, saying that that's what the book was like too. I actually saw this with my parents. Neat. And I kind of like it though. I like the religious feel to it. I guess because back in those days, everyone went to church, as opposed to now. I go to church maybe like 10 times a year. Give me a break. I watch movies. Give me a break. And what it is that he finally gets out, but he's on parole. And then a few years pass, and then Anne Hathaway is a factory worker, but she loses her job and has to become a prostitute. She loses her hair, loses some teeth, becomes a prostitute, and then, comes that amazing song, which I think is probably one of the best performance in this movie is Anne Hathaway. She does the I dreamed a dream. Oh wait, no, what is it? I dreamed a dream, I think. I can't remember. God, best song in the movie. But what I find impressive about Broadway musicals and just singing in general, like stuff like this, is that not only are they able to sing, but they're able to act. They're able to stay in character and just do this all at once. And I don't know, it just impresses me. And everyone did their own singing. At first I thought, Russell Crowe, will he be good at the singing? And then I heard him, I was like, whoa, he's actually good. Anne Hathaway's got a beautiful voice. Hugh Jackman, I think, was the best choice because he has the most experience. Like, he's been on Broadway. I haven't seen any of his shows. I really want to. A Boy from Oz, he won a Tony Award for that. But what's interesting to note is that I saw this in a feature just on YouTube, is that the singing was all done live. In the sense that, like, with the typical musical, you would never sort of film them singing. Well, maybe you would, but then you just sort of go over it in the editing. Like, kind of like Moulin Rouge and Chicago did. But the singing was done live, in the sense that they actually filmed them singing. So if there was like 20 people singing, 20 people were singing. Oh yeah, and Helena Bonham Carter and Sacha Baron Cohen have this funny little subplot, and Yeah, she's coming back from the King's Speech. Helena Bonham Carter looked like a Tim Burton creation. That must be her next creation. They're all really good. There are everything, every little piece of dialogue is sung, which at times I'm kind of just like, all right, giving them a bit of a break here and there, but it just keeps sort of at times it does feel a bit dragged on. Like that's what I mean by it felt a little too Broadway musical-esque in the sense that I think maybe that's what Tom Hooper was after. Probably is that he wanted to make a movie, but he didn't want it to make like a movie. He wanted to make like a musical, like a Broadway musical movie, which I think succeeds. It succeeds very well in its sense. I don't know. Reception's been kind of mixed for this movie. I don't know why. And then I haven't even really talked about the plot that much. I'm not really going to go over the plot that much. I mean, you either know this story or you don't. I don't really know it, but I'm just still kind of piecing it together from its. There was not everything I fully understood, but a bit of clarification. I kind of got it. But it's a really it's a neat little story. It's see what it is. Anne Hathaway, she has a daughter, and what it is, Hugh Jackman. He's on the run from Russell Crowe, Inspector Avier, I think. And he's kind of gone into hiding from that. But anyways, Anne Hathaway dies in his arms. Fantine, I think. And she says she has a daughter, so he takes his daughter, raises her as his own. And it sort of changes him over a bit. And she's played by Amanda Seyfried later on. And, Amanda Seyfried, I kind of got to take back what I say about her sometimes. I mean, I thought, oh, she's just a teen actress, just doing all these silly little movies. But she is really damn good in this. That, and she's gorgeous looking. She's gorgeous looking. She knows how to sing, knows how to act. She's really good in this. I don't know, my friend, he saw the poster and he thought it was Dakota Fanning. Yeah, I was just curious, like, I guess they didn't use Dakota Fanning. But she's got this neat little plot here and there, it's sort of a love story. It's, it doesn't feel like a love story though, but it has the elements in there. Well, okay, there is a subplot, there is a plot like that later on. But it's set during this sort of French Revolution time. There was a French Revolution, but now there's a new heir to the throne or whatever. And, everyone sort of gets caught. It sort of follows this that kid, that 20-year-old actor from My Week with Marilyn. That one guy who said had a really good performance. He's in this. He plays a big role in that. I don't really know. I can't really comment on the story too much. I just think the story's really good. Kept me interested enough. And but it's just one of those movies that feels it has a really nice feel to it, and I think a lot of effort went into it trying to get it to the way they wanted it to. The ending is really nice. They did a good job of making Hugh Jackman look old. And he looks... I will say this, he doesn't sport curly hair that well. I don't know, maybe I'm used to seeing it in the Wolverine style or his bald style like he did in Real Steel. But I think it's a solid movie nonetheless. I think pacing, a few pacing problems. I think that's really it. There are some lines of dialogue that are just, normally spoken. Just the simple stuff. That not like, oh, do you have the time? I can't sing. I'm not even gonna try. But it's really good nonetheless, and I would see it definitely. It's one of my favorites this year. So until then, I'll give it 9 out of 10. So until then, see you later.